Hey, welcome to AtLab Games. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Francis.
And today we're going to play
Indian
Summer.
That's like not what it feels like right now. In the
Not
Northeast.
even close. Nope.
All right, so Indian Summer is another tile placement game designed by Uwe Rosenberg and published by Stronghold Games. Plays 1 to 4 players in about 15 minutes per player, so it should take us about a half an hour.
Oh, good math.
Thank you.
All right, so after the break, join us at the table and we'll show you how this plays. Welcome back.
Welcome to the forest.
To the forest. So here we have Indian Summer set up for 2 players. So Indian Summer is actually the 3rd chapter in a 3-game series.
Second.
Wasn't it the
Patchwork's not the
That's not
first
part
one.
of the series?
No.
Oh, you're right, actually. You're right.
Yeah.
So it's the 2nd chapter in a 3-game series, with the first chapter being Cottage Garden.
Correct.
All right.
Another season that we're not.
I don't know why
currently in.
Patchwork's not part of that series, because it's...
It should be the winter one, because like you're making quilts.
Yeah.
Right?
It would only make sense.
there you go.
In any case, here we have it set up. Join us at the table, and I'll go through setup, and we will get right into this. So, if you look down at the boards, we kind of have a lot of things going on. I know it looks like a mishmash of different
It
colors.
looks like a lot of leaves.
Yeah, it looks like a cardboard monster threw up on our table after a night of drinking. But we have a lot going on here, but it really is very simple, and it pretty much follows suit with any of the other
Yes.
Uwe's
Yeah.
sort of tile placement games. So we each have a random board and a random side of our board. It's like a forest floor board that has.
Say that 3 times.
Hang on,
fast.
I can't even barely say it once. So you've got all these different. These are called treasures, right? So there's 4 different types of treasures. There's berries, there's nuts, there's feathers, and there's mushrooms, right? Each player gets a board. They also get a backpack, and in your backpack you're going to have 1 berry, 1 nut, and 1 mushroom. We're also going to have 2 random green tiles, 2 random yellow tiles, and 1 random red tile in this order. This is your player path.
Right.
It's the path you'll be walking for the beginning of the game. In the center of the table, we have what's called the common path, right? And it's going to go clockwise, right? And followed by this little bird in the bush.
Yes.
In the center of that, we have sort of the animal board. And all of our animal tiles are up there. And we'll tell you exactly how we place those in a bit. What's different about this game is every tile has a hole in it, and that's not by mistake. These
They're
actually,
like holy tiles.
those are intentional. They are pretty holy. So what we're going to be doing on our turn, and for setup, is you really just take all the tiles. Now, there's a pile of tiles in the supply off to the side that you can't see, but you've taken enough to just set it up at random around the table. And this is going to be our offer. Actually, you're supposed to leave a little space between this and the bush to signify.
I was trying to not make them overlap.
This is the end of the trail,
Yeah.
end of the path. Over here we have these little squirrels, which, like all of the other games, are fillers. And
Like the cats
like
in
the
Cottage
cats
Garden.
in the cradle, and you've
And the
got
buttons.
the buttons and patchwork, or the patches.
The patches,
Not
yeah.
the buttons are currency. Okay, so in this game, the object is to fill your board, like all the other games, except in this game, there's no scoring.
Right.
It's whoever fills the board first. So keep that in mind while we play. That's really it for the setup.
Yeah.
Quite literally, that was it. So I think we're going to go through. You're player 1.
I've got the boots.
You've got the boot. And we're going to just jump in, and we'll explain what all of these little treasures mean, and how you actually
As
have
we
to...
go, right?
Yeah, as we go,
Yeah.
because I think it's all suitable for that.
Cool.
So, all right, there you go. Let's jump in. Jump in.
All right.
So why don't you explain what you can do on your turn?
Okay, so on your turn, you can do a couple of things. Actually, you can do kind of a lot of things. You have 2 kind of options for main actions. The simple action would be to take one of the tiles from your backpack and place it on your board. If you're lucky enough to have one of these feathers, and we'll explain how you get these in a little bit, you can actually place 2 tiles at one time. And if you want to, you can use this mushroom, which we start with 1 in our backpack. And that allows you to get tiles in some different ways. So if you don't like the ones that are in your supply, you can actually take the first tile from your partner's supply. And in a 2-player game, you can take the one from your partner, as well as the first tile next to the bush, the bird.
The bird in
right?
the bush.
If you're playing with more than 2 players, you actually get to pick 2 players to take tiles from, and then they get to refresh their book bag and all that. So, but those are your options. I'm probably going to start out by just going ahead and doing this. And then I'll talk about maybe additional actions when we get there. Wow, this is like a funky dude. All right, so, okay, so for example, I'm gonna place this here. And again, these have holes in them. So what you wanna try to do is stack these so that they reveal the treasure underneath. And should you do that on your turn, you actually get to take one of the tokens and place it right there, like you've discovered this treasure. You won't be able to actually claim that and put it into your book bag until you've completed this sector of the forest floor. So
That's right.
we'll be trying to do that. And then we'll talk about animals and stuff in a little bit when it makes sense to do that, I think.
Yep. So, as Francis said, there's 6 sectors in the board, right? And they're just a 4x3 grid. Once you fill that sector, you claim anything you've got on top of it, and then we can start talking about animals. We're not even close to that yet. So, you don't get penalized for putting something over a berry or hiding a nut or any of the treasures. You just don't get it. So
Right.
you want to. The whole strategy here is to.
The whole strategy.
The whole strategy is to place these parts in such a way that you're able to collect
things.
many things. So it's challenging in the sense that you don't want to cover something that you really want to collect later.
No, like any of these, the more you understand about the strategy of playing,
Yeah.
the more AP prone it can be.
Let's hope not. So
Well,
there you go.
for us, but I'm just saying. All right, so then I will put this guy here. Cover that with a nut.
Yeah, but anything you take out of your path, you just slide everything back to the left. Okay, so this is where it gets a little challenging. Okay.
Okay. And our tile placement follows all the typical, Uwe rules, I guess. So you're not, you can't overlap them, obviously. You can't go outside of the forest floor area that you have. In this case, you can place them so that they overlap the different sectors. That's fine.
Right, so like that overlaps the sectors. I covered up a nut, but I also got myself another one. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, that's all. All right, your turn.
So. Okay. Let's see, how do I want to play this? All right, I'm going to go here, like that. All right, so now I have completed this sector here. It is also okay to have holes on your forest floor with no treasures underneath. That will matter, and it might actually be beneficial for you to do that if you want to ever get any of these animals, and we'll, again, explain how that works in a minute. So I get to collect my berries, the only thing that was in that sector when I finished it, and that is it. You are up.
That is it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spend a blueberry. And you can do this before or after your main action. And by spending a blueberry, it allows you to refill your forest path.
Up to 5.
Up to 5. So I draw the tiles in this order, going clockwise, one at a time, and they come in to the right of everything that's in here. So I would go up to 5, and then the bush moves over. So that doesn't count as my action. That's a free action. So now I can
Well, you spent your berry.
I spent my berry for it, so it wasn't all that free. But I'm going to place that there. And the hardest part of this game is either placing or removing a treasure token and not messing your entire board up.
Yeah, this is not like, I don't recommend having your cup of coffee while you're playing or shortly before playing this game. Alright, so I'll do that. And I get a feather for there. And I have used all of the tiles in my book bag, so I actually get to take the next 5 into my bag.
2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, these red tiles.
Yeah,
What's
that's
happening?
Good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, slide everybody over.
Is right. I'm gonna do.
While the other player's going, you can sit here and mess around with your tiles as long as you
Yeah.
place them back over here.
Yeah.
And they can be flipped and flopped and turned. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
As long as they don't go off the board.
We'll do that, I think.
All right.
Your turn.
So yeah, I'm gonna do. I kind of like this move.
Do that. All right, so I finished this sector, so I get to take my feather and my 2 acorn nuts. Yeah, see, this is like moving. All right, and then what I can do now is figure out if I can take any of these animals, right? So the way the animals work is they have to, you can take, and I'm going to take this one, so I'll explain how this works by taking this one. You can place these tiles over top of your leaf tiles, but the only condition is that they have to exclusively cover empty holes. So I've already taken these 2 nuts as a treasure, and this one didn't have a treasure, it's just a hole. So I can place these like bluebirds over top of these holes, kind of like they're burrowing, I guess, like in the space.
They're making their nest.
Right? And the benefit is that you get whatever you cover, you get to collect those again. So I actually get 2 more nuts by placing these bluebirds right there. And you may go.
I may go. All right, so I'm gonna place. I don't want to do that. I'll probably place this here. And I'm going to be done. Your turn.
You're going to be done.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there's things I want to do, but I can't yet.
Yeah. I'm not like thrilled about using this. All right. I'm thinking if I want to spend one of these nuts. Because I have these like giant tiles. Or not nuts, they're like berries.
To get more tiles? Yeah, they're smaller tiles.
Yeah, there's like some nice smaller ones actually. Well, that's not bad actually. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just place that guy there.
Okay.
I know it's. All right, your turn.
That was it?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so then I guess I'll place this tile here, and I will draft 5 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I forget if I pick this up from here or put right there. It's tricky. It's so tricky. I really need that nut. You know?
I guess.
You guess.
Why do you need that so bad?
Well, because it's good to get the nuts.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
You
And they
know?
get you the squirrels, but...
What's that?
So they do get you the squirrels.
I know. These are like very crappy tiles. What do we have out there? Oh, yeah, let me just spend a blueberry
Okay.
and I'll just
Yeah,
take 3.
2, and 3.
Okay. And I'll put this guy down maybe. Like here. Why not?
Okay.
Yep, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna go here. Blueberry, but that's gonna finish this grid, so I'm just gonna take the blueberry and this nut and this feather. Okay. Did you
Your
go
turn.
again?
I did.
All right, I'm gonna go right here. That's gonna complete this. I'll take that nut.
Oh, there's like a worm on that one or something. Ew, like I thought it was a real worm.
I'm a real worm.
I'm a real worm. That's not bad. I could go blueberry here.
Blueberry. Sometimes you just gotta cover them up.
Sometimes you just gotta cover up the things. Like, you're not always gonna get them. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna do a couple things this round. I'm going to spend a feather, and that's gonna let me place 2 tiles this round.
Okay.
So I have to place them both right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna place that one there. And I'm gonna place one of these 2 guys.
What are you?
There. Why not? I'm gonna spend 3 nuts to get 3 squirrels. And then place my squirrels. One here,
Oh. I was just thinking something.
one here, and one here. And now
very
I've
good.
just completed this whole sector.
Yeah, you get 2 nuts.
I get those, but wait, there's more. I'm going to take an animal tile. I'm going to take this fox.
Yeah, that's good. Ooh,
He
get
comes
more
with a
nuts.
nut, and he's going to cover these 3, which is going to give me 3 more nuts.
I love that fox.
Yeah, he's good. He's a nutty
awesome.
fox. All right, that was a crazy
Are
move.
you done?
I'm done now. Yeah, but I'm like out of tiles. All right.
Are those tiles that I want? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think so. Alright, I'm gonna spend my feather. And I'm gonna place this guy for a nut. But that actually finishes this board, so I actually get to have a nut. And then I get to place this guy.
You spent a feather too, huh?
I did, yeah. I did. Yeah, I'll do that. Do that there.
And you get tiles.
I do. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right. Ooh, yeah. All right, I'm gonna spend a blue.
Oh, and I'm gonna. Can I do one more thing?
Sure.
Okay, I just wanted to spend a nut to get a squirrel
Okay.
to put here.
To finish that tile.
No, because I still
No.
have that
Okay.
mushroom guy.
I'm gonna spend that to get 4 tiles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can't even use half of these tiles. Ugh, they're terrible. Yeah, these are really bad. I'm gonna mean, I could do. Ugh, these are horrible tiles.
That's why I refreshed real quick because they were like okay tiles.
Yeah, no, these are like they're huge. I don't have enough room to fit these guys, so it's like. Right, look at these. They're 4.
Yeah.
I literally have room for one of them.
Well, 2 of them. Well, yeah, one of them here. Well, that's the other thing. So you can, on your turn, if you don't have like the place to put a tile, you have the default option of just taking a squirrel and placing it.
Agreed. Yes,
Yeah.
you could do that, but that's like such a cop out.
Well, if you don't have the parts, right?
Yes, bows. All right, I'm just gonna go here, and I'll pay a nut for a squirrel, and finish off this sector as well. Take that nut. And there.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna do what I should have done last turn and put this here.
Mm-hmm.
So I get these butterflies. So I get a feather. And I will use it right now. To put that there and to put this here.
Mm-hmm.
And that finishes this, so I get a nut. Whoops. Very turbulent, the floor of the forest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Your turn.
I don't like what's going on here. One bit. I just feel like I'm gonna be stuck filling in everything with.
With crap.
Yeah.
Do you want this giant tile?
I might take it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
So I get this tile and I get this tile.
And
you
then
get to
since
fill.
I get to fill up to 5, so I
Yeah,
get 1,
so it probably helped you out
2.
pretty well, but
3. Oh, I wasn't going to use it, so. And since our leaf path has less than 7, we fill it up, but I'm just going to sprinkle because I don't think this is going to last long enough for us to actually get any of these on the board.
right. Okay.
Here, they're just going to get really spread out.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that fine?
Yeah, we're not even gonna get through them all.
Yeah. Okay, well for starters, I guess I can take another one of these and do this and get a blueberry. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And
One, two, three, four, five. Wow.
how can I do that? I guess we'll do this. So that finishes this section, so I get my blueberry. And I get a mushroom.
All right. Well, I can't place any tile, so I have to take a squirrel. And then I might as well just spend the rest. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squirrels. So I'll just spend 5 nuts and buy 5 squirrels. And finish my board. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more.
I need one more.
One more squirrel. And that finishes the board. I collect these. And now, that is it. End of the round.
Okay, do I get a turn?
I think you might.
Okay.
And so according
That's
to according to the rules, you finish the round. Since I was the second player,
I would have done this.
I finished the round.
Acorn, acorn, acorn. This should have been done on my last turn. Acorn, acorn. Blueberries.
Yeah, you could trade any combination
Actually-
of lower values up.
Yeah. So my mushroom becomes an acorn, my mushroom becomes an acorn.
Right.
Acorn, acorn. And then all these blueberries
Yeah, 2 blueberries
become an acorn.
So you would have had 1 extra with me.
And
Yeah.
we would have been tied.
Yep. All right, so let's go talk about it.
All right.
All right, there you have it. Indian summer, finally to the table. Why do you look so sad?
Because I meant to put all those squirrels out and I didn't.
It's all right.
I actually had the perfect piece, the 2 perfect pieces to win the legal
Actually,
way.
you would have won because
Instead of making
you
a
had
whole
this.
bunch of...
You would have collected this for.
Oh, I would have
finishing the
collected
board.
that. See, don't make it worse than
Well, you
it
could have
is.
won the game. Wow.
I usually do.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't expect to not have a turn, because typically I finish and you get to have an extra turn. But I'm always first player. So. Anyway, but let's talk about it.
Okay.
So let's start out, as always, with replayability. You have a lot of variability here.
Yeah.
I mean, like with any of these games, I think that you're going to, it's going to play differently every time, in the sense that you're placing different pieces every time.
Yep.
But the feel of the game is going to be pretty much the same.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
So, similar puzzle.
Yeah, it's right up there with the others
Yeah.
as far as replayability goes. And when I say others, I mean like Cottage Garden and Patchwork.
Yeah. And I think we'll kind of dive a little deeper into our compares to this time, actually, because we definitely want to measure these up. Weight and audience. 'Cause
Yeah. It's a lighter
Yeah.
game, obviously. There is a little bit of complexity in understanding the holes in the tiles
Yes.
and the whole animal bit and collecting the treasures and all that stuff.
Right.
And then also knowing that there's no score in this game, that it
Right.
is just, it's a race to cover the forest floor.
Yeah, like there's no scores at all.
Yes.
So it's when you play with multiple people, it's like one person wins and then you just kind of like count losers after.
Yeah,
that.
basically
If
it's
you're
just-
the first loser.
Everybody else loses. so you want to be the first to cover.
Yeah, for sure. The theme and components. So what do you think? We had a discussion about this. Actually,
Yeah, why don't you go
component-wise.
first?
I mean, well, I love the theme because fall's like my favorite
Mm-hmm.
season, and I loved Cottage Garden too because it's like also my other favorite season.
Yeah.
But I think component-wise, the one takeaway that we had when we first saw this actually out in production
Mm-hmm.
was that it's a lot to look at. Like when you're looking at these boards head on, it's like a lot of red and orange, like a lot of color.
It is a lot of color. It looks like fall.
Well, it does. Like it looks like fall, but you don't get the depth because it's printed. It's not like actual leaves that you're looking at. So I don't know I don't know like what other people's thoughts are on that. I mean, it is kind of interesting how they decided to go with like the green, yellow, and red tiles, because your reds are your bigger, kind of more awkward pieces. Where your greens kind of fit, a little easier into.
I guess there's just less green
Yeah.
at that time of the year, right?
Right,
So I guess it
right.
makes sense thematically.
Yeah. So I think the theme was really cool. I love the animals. The squirrels are actually different kinds of
Yeah, they're all
squirrels.
unique.
There's like a rabbit squirrel with like pointy
Not
ears.
rabid, but like a rabbit.
Rabbit
Yes.
squirrel. Like a squirrel I've not seen
Yeah.
before. No gray squirrels though.
No, they're
They're
all
all the red ones.
the red ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think component wise, the tiles work, right? This is
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of a
for
tried
sure.
and tested sort of mechanism, right? And you've got like the iconography is pretty clear on the fruit and the treasure and all that stuff. The animals are really cute. The art's really quite good. I think
Yeah.
you just miss a lot of it because it kind of all blends together once it's on the
Right, yeah.
table. Because it's very busy. There's a lot of action going on with leaves, and it all kind of like melds together, and then you see the animals popping up. But I guess it does portray what a forest floor would look like.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I wouldn't have any idea of how to do it better.
No,
You know
I
what I
couldn't
mean?
either. Yeah. So
I mean, it's like you can't really, I
Yeah.
can't criticize it too much.
yeah,
but-
don't I wouldn't even take this as criticism.
no.
You know what I mean? It's just you just have to really get used to it in order to appreciate it.
Yeah.
For what it is, and it is definitely it's quite pretty.
Well, and I like how when you place the animal tiles over top of your forest, it is like a little clearing
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that you've made, because those are holes that like you placed there. So now it's like dirt, and like you really can see
Yeah.
what's down there. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, you just have to really look at
Yeah.
the detail to appreciate the art here.
The
So.
I like the idea with like the holes and stuff to line up the treasures,
Mm-hmm.
and even to get the animals and stuff, because it does add a degree of complexity, and I think that was well done.
And I think that addition of those holes and that whole lining up made this game.
Yeah, I think so too.
If not for that, it would have been just a very dry tile placement game.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't say it would be very dry, but it would be much lighter.
Very dry.
Right?
But it really added a ton more strategy to
It
the
did,
game.
yeah.
Because without that, there's, it's just more or less, it falls in line with Cottage Garden.
Yeah, for sure.
And Patchwork. Just fill
Right.
your board the best way you can. So not only are you fighting with the shapes now, but you're fighting with with manipulating these holes. So pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one actual criticism that I would have, and again, I don't know how you fix this, but this is a shaky game.
Yeah.
So like if you tap it the wrong way, especially because you're like touching your board a lot, it's not just like you're placing stuff and then it's done. And that was actually one of the things I liked about Cottage Garden, is that you were rifling through those tiles.
Yeah.
Like you do a sector and then you get rid of it. So it's not like you're trying to manipulate this whole board the whole time. But yeah, it is. I mean, you do have to be very, very careful. But again, I don't know how you get around that, because there is such a degree of variability with which you can place your tiles, unless it's like sticky or something.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. Yeah, but I agree with that.
All right, cool. So fun factor, obviously.
It's a fun game.
You
Yeah,
have fun,
it's
right?
definitely fun. It's certainly fun in that it's so short. I mean,
Yeah.
this one is I think this is the shortest of them all.
I think so.
It's over before it begins. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you really start to
It
get.
really is a race. It feels like a race.
Yeah, you have to finish. Like you're
Yeah.
just trying, and you cover this board very quickly, and you're getting a ton of these treasures. But I guess if that's the intention, is for it to be a fast playing game, but that's what it is. But it really shakes up the way you think about these games, because you're
Right.
more or less trying to be, optimize your shapes with your
Right.
with your board, and this way you're just like fill the board, give me more nuts so I can get more squirrels and just
Right.
have a squirrel army in my forest.
Well, and the one thing that I think, he even points out in the rules a couple times is don't be afraid to use your tokens.
Yeah.
Like they're meant to be used. And I mean, I guess that's kind of what screwed me at the end too. I really should have been paying more attention to that, because if I had just spent them and gotten them out, then I wouldn't have had to worry about you finishing the game.
But you like hoarding resources.
But these are not worth anything at the end. It's worth is the nuts will determine tiebreaker.
That's
but
just
it.
tiebreaker, yeah.
And
yeah.
it's not even worth points. So
Nope.
you really have to kind of break your mentality there and use your resources to just get this done and get it done fast.
That's right.
So let's actually go into comparison.
Oh,
So
yeah.
thoughts?
So
Interested.
how this compares? So I mean, I think the closest thing to this for me would be Cottage Garden, right? Not even like a Barren Park. I don't think even compares to this one, because Barren Park's far
I think
different,
so. Yeah.
in my opinion. But I think Cottage Garden seemed kind of up this alley. This is kind of a lighter Cottage Garden almost.
Yeah. in a
Because
way.
in that one you're kind of churning through plots, right?
Right, right.
You're building gardens and next garden, and you had to do a number, and you could just keep going
Yeah.
until the end, right? Because there's a score track. But on this one, there's no track, so it's like you just get a taste of it,
Right.
and then it's over.
Yeah.
So I think comparatively, this one seems like the lightest of the bunch.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Even though there's some complexity in lining up the holes and all that, you don't necessarily have to.
Right.
You could just race to get it done, but I
Well,
think you do need some of those treasures.
All these do is give you more of those, more of these guys. So as long as you're using them and not hoarding them, then
Yeah.
yes, definitely that needs to be part of your strategy, or it could be part of your strategy.
Well, I think if you pull off a couple of really,
Yeah.
even one or two big animal combos
Yeah.
early, and you get a whole bunch of resources, you need to trade those right back in and just flood your board with stuff.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole strategy here, because it's
Right.
not like, well, I'm going to get 2 or 3 different animals and try to line all these up,
Because you don't get points for the animals.
no, by the
like-
time you do that,
Yeah.
you've already lost. So
Right.
it happens very fast. So I think comparatively, it's not as deep.
Right.
It's still satisfying.
Yeah.
But it's a much smaller bite.
Right, and I would say I agree with you 100%, and I think it's really kind of cool that you have two games that kind of look, they're in the same series, they look pretty much the same, you're doing tile placement, but in my opinion they play very differently.
Yeah.
So this was satisfying for me in the sense that it was a satisfying race.
Yeah.
where you feel that race kind of with Cottage Garden 2, but it's more, how do I maximize to get the most points?
Yeah.
Where this is like, points don't matter. Game's made up and points don't matter,
yeah.
right?
Exactly.
So the points don't matter at all. So it's just kind of like a refreshing take. And I think it's cool that you can take the exact same mechanic and see it play out two very different ways. I props for that.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome.
definitely.
Yeah. How would you compare this like Patchwork? I know it's not in the same series, but it's just, again, another tile placement.
Yeah, I don't. To me, it doesn't even compare
Yeah.
at all to
I would say
Patchwork.
the same
no.
thing. Yeah.
No, except when you're like buying
Yeah.
pieces of
There's another
quilt
one.
with
It's like, it's all
currency.
currency.
Yeah, it just changes the
Yeah.
whole way you think about the game.
I guess the takeaway would kind of be, just because you've played Patchwork or you've played Cottage Garden, don't assume that you know how Indian Summer's going to play.
Right.
And just, if you play this, but you haven't played the other two, and maybe you don't care for this as much, don't discount the other two that are similar.
Yeah.
Because all three are very different games, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're different enough to hold their own. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. I guess we kind of already did expectations, unless you have anything else to
No.
say. I mean, pretty much-
it was lighter than I expected.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be lighter than Cottage Garden, but it was. I'm not disappointed in that. It's just
Yeah, it's just
I was surprised by what it had to offer, and I enjoyed it anyway.
For it being in like a series, I expected it to be mechanically a lot more like Cottage Garden.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And again, I was surprised by that, but also satisfied for all the reasons I just mentioned.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
Pros and cons, real quick.
Pros: it's very fast.
Very fast playing,
Variable setup, nice art, cool theme, nice.
and like virtually no math.
Yeah, no math.
Which I'm thinking about audience-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids could probably pick this up and play it.
Yep.
But,
So yeah, and it's fun.
Yeah. Slippery board. That's my con.
Cons. Yeah, the slippery board, pieces move around. Otherwise, and I think it's just that although the art's a pro, it can get a little busy on the board.
Yeah. Don't let it intimidate you.
Yeah,
I guess.
but otherwise, I think it was pretty good. I think it's just, and I think it's great that it's fast, but it's almost too fast in some aspects.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was like, maybe you could even like take out another board
And do a second.
and like do a second one.
Yeah. I think that would have
might
been
be too
a little
much.
long. Yeah. Okay.
You just like play it again. I mean, you can knock out like multiple games.
Yeah, which is good.
Quickly.
So.
All right, cool. So
All
that's
right.
it.
Yep. So there you have it. Indian Summer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.